Hey Radiant Souls, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome for the first time. My name is Heather. I'm an intuitive artist, psychic, channeler, medium, animal communicator, energy healer, and I'm on a mission to empower and embolden others to connect with their divine radiant light and to honor the sacred connection with all life, everyone's divine radiant light. Today I wanted to bring through a channeling that my channeling team, I have a couple of different teams of guides. The channeling team refer to themselves as the Eihdelar Coalition of Light. They wanted to come through today to talk about time. And this is a very personal message as well for me. I have a birthday coming up, so that always allows us to say, oh, this is one more revolution around the sun, as it were. And what have I accomplished in that past year? What do I see going forward for the next year? And toward the end of the year, many of us are in that space anyway, where we're wrapping up 2025, ready to move into 2026. So I think this was, pun intended, a timely message. They're also talking a little bit about past lives, parallel lives, future lives, not out of just the curiosity to see, was I in Atlantis? Was I in Lemuria? Am I a starseed? But to see yourself as this glorious, multifaceted gem and how brightly you shine in that. So I'm going to put the channeling here. I'll be back at the end to talk for just a couple of minutes and wrap it up. I hope you enjoy it. Hello, bright and beautiful beings. We are the Eihdelar Coalition of Light, and our members wish to speak to you today on the topic of time, specifically as it relates to your lifetimes, your incarnations, whether that is present, past, or future. We would ask you today, do you know how much light that you hold as a soul? It is vast, it is infinite, it is unlimited. It can light up galaxies. And yet, some of you play small. Some of you put on the perspective of limitation. Some of you put boundaries upon yourself that you need not do. We understand that in your current incarnation in this time-space reality on planet Earth, limitations serve as challenges, and we honor you for taking them on in that way. But when you do not move past them, they are, as you would say, the proverbial brick wall. You are just stymied and stopped. And we do not understand why you would not seek to climb over, move past, tunnel under these barriers that you place upon yourselves. When you consider time, not as a constrictive element, as some of you do, for you always say, I do not have enough time. What time should I be there? It takes up so much time to wait in line. Consider time merely as time, translating individual measurements of energy, or translating individual measurements of eternity, or translating individual measurements of existence. You may choose to use whichever of those definitions feels right for you. For when you are presented with time in the present incarnation, it is an opportunity for you to be present. It is an opportunity for you to measure your current situation, circumstance, experience upon another situation, circumstance, or experience. Whether that is in your current timeline, so perhaps something from your childhood, or forward thinking, perhaps something that is a goal, a dream. If you do not have that measurement, you cannot feel the distance. And in feeling the distance, you also build the momentum and the relative effort required, or not so much effort, as we felt some of you brace against that word. Oh, effort. I don't like to effort. We speak of effort as the frequency, the shifting of your frequency, and the aligned action that you need to take. Both of those fall under our definition of effort in this example. So if you do not have the time in which to say, I used to be X, Y, or Z, or I will in the future be X, Y, and Z, then you cannot complete that computational arrangement to say, I therefore need X amount of effort, of frequency adjustment and aligned action. Many of you have an interest in past lives, parallel lives, future lives, and we think this is beautiful. In the home worlds of many of our members on our coalition, we have a deep understanding and connection to all of our incarnations that are occurring simultaneously. It is a way for us to identify something you may classify as multitasking, for as a soul, you are taking on many different incarnations in the same moment. Again, in your time-space reality, those are framed or labeled as having different time signatures to them, but they are happening simultaneously. So in our home worlds, when we are living in those spaces of higher frequency, we have an awareness of all that we are, and we are able to navigate the current timeline where we choose to place our consciousness accordingly. We would wish to give you a gift of this awareness as well, for many of you in this time-space reality are ready for that expanded knowledge of self. Can you imagine the depth of love that you can have for yourself and for another when you see multitudes within you, not just the one? When you can understand the complexities and the depth and all of the joy, all of the love, as well as all of the pain and all of the struggle that you as a soul have witnessed, all the weight you have carried, all the emotions you have weathered. How then would you be informed in your current moment of decision making when you are looking for that effort, that frequency shift, those aligned actions, if you come to that as the multitudinous version of yourself rather than the individual? Would you feel much more empowered? Would you make different choices? The energy in the collective in your world at this time supports much of this jumping from a perspective, from your viewpoint, jumping into other timelines and seeing how they coalesce, how they resonate with who you are now. In this way, many of you can access this information, be aware of how beautiful and unlimited you truly are. You are beautiful and unlimited in this one lifetime, this one incarnation, yes. Imagine amplifying that infinitely to see all that you are. We only wish for you to understand your depth, your breadth, your vastness, so that you can understand, dear friends, the light that you hold. So that you can understand, dear friends, how to wield that light for your own improvement and the improvement of your world. We wish to empower you to connect in to all that you are, for we see it so very clearly that you are unlimited. Unshackle yourself from the limitations of time, seeing time only as that measurement that is necessary for your current experience, for the comparison, to then allow the effort, the aligned frequencies and actions to be better understood. Know that you are loved beyond measure of time and space. Know that you are known at the very core of you. Seek to know thyself in all of your vastness. We wish you a very blessed day, dearest friends. Welcome back. What did you think? Time, translating individual measurements of energy, or translating individual measurements of, what else did they say? Expression, translating individual measurements of existence. And for me, I kind of see that as like little tick marks on a ruler, like the millimeters on the ruler, where it's just smaller and smaller and smaller. And the feeling I got from the team was not to get lost in that, in the timestamps of that, but to see how vast and how much that ruler, if you will, extends out in all different directions. And so when you're thinking about time and dropping into it as its linear expression, see that more as the center or the hub of a wheel, where there's all those other existences dovetailing off of this one and connected and resonant with this one. And how can you pull in information or knowledge or skills or even just the vibe or the frequency from those other lifetimes into this one? So if you've never worked with past, parallel, or future lives before, this is the time to do it. Like the team said, the energy is ripe for anything that is across the veil, so to speak. So anything that has been maybe insurmountable in the fact that it felt like it was a different dimensional awareness, all of that is kind of thinning right now, where we can access that information more readily and more easily. I can't access my vocabulary more easily, but I can access that. So one of the ways that I like to work with past, parallel, and future lives is through my art. And I'm going to share some examples of that here and invite you, if you would like to see the energetic signature of one of your other selves, that would be really fun for us to explore together. We can get the art, we can have a conversation about it as well. And these are really powerful pieces when I'm having conversations with some of the recipients you see here. There's a resonance that comes up where people can deeply feel that is who I am. That is my multitude. That is my complexity. And it turns out to be very healing for people just to witness those other aspects of themselves. And what comes through with the art is the name, the general time period, the general area of the world or the galaxy, depending. And then when we meet to have a conversation, if you choose to do that as well, I go into a bit of a channeling and journey on behalf of your soul to get more information from that. And you can ask questions, and it's very interactive in that way. I also have a standalone appointment that is without the art, specific just to that kind of journeying, that you're welcome to do too. But anyway, time was on my mind this morning, and I just wanted to share some of that with you. What are your experiences with past life, future life, parallel lives? Are you into it? Are you not? I truthfully wasn't always into it. And I've heard some of you say this too. My feeling at that time was, I have enough going on in this lifetime. I don't need to know those other bits of self. And then I also sometimes have the feeling of, I don't want to get lost in that. I don't want to be so defined by those other versions of me that I, lose the plot on this one. But I think we're coming into a period in our evolution, in our ascension, where we can gather that information, bring that data about who we are into the fold in a way that is more empowering, like the team was talking about, and not as distracting. So if you're interested, I'd love to work with you on that. Drop me a comment and let me know, who were you in past lives? What experience do you have with that? Are you interested in it or not? Or just check in and let me know how you're doing today in this present moment of time. I hope you found this helpful, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.